Hi, my name is Paige Skidmore, and I did my project over food safety. Food safety has been regulated at a national level since 1906. Food safety can be a big determinant when it comes to our public health status. The World Declaration on Nutrition of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and WHO states that access to nutritionally adequate and safe food is a basic individual right and not a luxury. Food safety is something that should not only be for the rich, but is something that all people need. The food that we eat, if not cooked or stored properly, can harm us and could cause us to get foodborne diseases. Food safety has always been a concern, and even over half a century ago, we knew about the dangers of poisonings from underprocessed canned foods, staphylococcal poisonings from unrefrigerated cream-filled pastries, sliced ham, meat and poultry salads, and salmonella from infected animal products. Most of the problems that people are facing are caused by them failing to follow the procedures when cooking and handling food, like not cooking the food to the correct temperature. Some of the factors that affect public health are education, employment status, income level, gender, and ethnicity. A few problems that we see involving food safety in today's society is that many consumers are more interested in saving time and inconvenience than in proper food handling and preparation. Today, we are a very fast-paced society who is always on the go, so food safety is pretty much one of the last things that are on our mind. When we are trying to cut out time when cooking food, we are very likely not to cook the food all the way and serve it at undercooked and not all the way through, which is what causes us to get the foodborne illnesses or diseases. Another issue that we often see when it comes to food safety is that in many households, especially ones that have less income, we will often see the ones usually responsible for cooking food take on another job, which passes the cooking responsibilities to other family members who have less experience or are ill-trained to prepare meals. Many times we see this pass on to younger kids, maybe like the oldest sibling that they have, who may still be at a very young age. Education about food safety is probably one of the biggest causes of foodborne diseases because there has been a decreased opportunity for food safety instruction, declining food preparation skills, and insufficient food safety information among many households. So I have a couple recommendations that I would give to make a few changes to make the food safety a bigger issue, or less of an issue, not a bigger issue. The first recommendation that I have to act over the issues with food safety is to create a plan to help educate people about food safety. Many people out in the world have not been educated on proper food safety, so they may not know about the things that they need to do to help prevent these foodborne diseases. In most cases, people who have lower income are not going to be as educated in things like food safety because they may not have the access to things like courses that talk about those things. Decreased opportunities for food safety instruction, declining food preparation skills, and insufficient food safety information often leads to diminished appreciation of the basic principles of food preparation. Another change that I think needs to happen is to come up with one word or phrase that says when the food expires. Today's marketplace has more perishable products with less secondary barriers to oppose microbiological buildup, which leads to an increased risk from food handling errors. When dealing with food, people can get confused on how long food is good for because of the different types of labels. The things that you typically see on these labels are sell by, best if used by, and expiration dates. To a consumer, these labels can be pretty confusing because they do have different meanings. The sell-by date indicates how long a store should display a product on the shelves. The food is still good to eat several days after this date. The best if used by date comes from the manufacturers, and it means that food will be the freshest and taste the best, but does not refer to food safety at all. The use by date comes from the manufacturers as well, and it means it is the last date for the food when at its best quality. After this date, the food's quality goes downhill even if the food safety does not. So again, still pretty confusing because we don't know how long that food is good for. Finally, the expiration date is the only label that is actually related to food safety, and if the date has passed, the food needs to be thrown out to avoid foodborne illnesses. We can make things a lot less confusing for consumers if we would just put the expiration date on the food items on the labels. Food safety is a topic that is not taken as seriously as it should be. And food safety is important in public health because if we do not pay attention to it, we can get a foodborne disease that can be very harmful and could even lead to death. This problem can be easily preventable if the public is provided with the right resources. The best thing that we can do to help attack this problem is to educate people. We need to put education about food safety into our school system so everyone has the opportunity to learn about it. The other things that we can do to help this problem is to make our labels less confusing and come up with one that has one meaning and tells people when the food needs to be thrown out. In the future, we want to research new ways to educate people. Education about food safety is going to be our best option to make a change about food safety. For the future, we want to find ways to be able to educate not only in the school systems, but we also want to find ways to be able to educate the adults as well. If we can find ways to offer an affordable class that teaches about food safety, we can more than likely prevent people from getting foodborne diseases. And then here is my reference page.